Ngalakin Khadijan Nyunga Boja.
Hello everyone, welcome to the introductory lecture of ELEC 4404 Signal Processing. My name is Lu Jin. I will be the coordinator of this unit in this semester. In this lecture today, we are going to introduce you some fundamental but important information regarding how we run this session, how the content will be delivered, and how you are going to be assessed, and some other information. Now let's start this lecture. First of all, our teaching plan. This unit is a blended mode unit, which consists of a number of teaching activities. The most important one is the lecture. At this moment, we have two 2-hour lecture scheduled in each week over the whole 12 weeks in this semester. But because we have a large number of students who are currently overseas and cannot attend the face-to-face teaching due to the travel restrictions, so we have to cancel all these scheduled lectures and transfer the teaching of the lectures to online mode. This means we do not have any scheduled lectures in this unit over the whole semester, and all the lectures will be pre-recorded and the lecture videos will be uploaded and available on the lecture recording system. Students need to log into the lecture recording system and download the videos, watch it, and learn from the videos to catch up the progress of the unit. Because no scheduled lectures, so attendance is not required at all. Next, our practical classes. We have weekly practical classes scheduled, except the weeks 4, 7, and 10, because in these weeks, we are going to use the practical class time to run our class test. Different from the lectures, the practical classes will be live streamed. That means we don't have a fixed venue for it, but we are going to hold this practical class online through the Zoom or Microsoft Teams for the interaction between you and me. So in the practical class, I'm going to go through the tutorial questions. Of course, I will try my best to go through as many as possible. In the meantime, because you are connected to these practical classes through the Zoom or the Microsoft Teams, if you have any questions to ask regarding the tutorial or regarding other matters of this unit, you can just ask me in person through Zoom or Microsoft Teams. If you are not able to attend this practical class for any reason, doesn't matter. The attendance to the practical classes are not compulsory. You may just watch the recorded practical class videos from the lecture recording system to catch up the progress. Of course, if you decide to watch the videos, you will not be able to ask me the questions in person. But if you really have some troubles regarding some particular questions in the tutorial, please send me an email. So I will try my best to give you the answers by email. Next one, the labs. In this unit, we have 2 labs over the semester. The lab 1 will be run in weeks 5 and 6, and the lab 2 will be run in weeks 9 and 10. Attending your allocated lab sessions will be compulsory, and each student needs to attend only 1 session for each of these 2 labs. For this part here, so please be reminded, because we have the face-to-face students and we have online students, so the arrangement will be different between the 2 groups of students. For face-to-face students, please come to campus and go to the lab venue. I think that should be room 271 of the electrical building to attend your lab session. Your lab demonstrator will be available physically in the lab venue to help you to finish the questions, the tasks given the lab menu. For online students, because you can't attend these on-campus labs, so you need to attend your online lab session. And by then, we are going to enable the Zoom connection or the Microsoft Teams connection, and the meeting ID will be given on MS. You just need to click that link and join the online lab session with your lab demonstrator. And the remaining requirements will be the same between the face-to-face student and the online students. By the way, everyone, I want to remind you, so attending your allocated session will be compulsory. That means please attend only your allocated session, because most of these sessions are full now. And if you are not in the session but go to the session, start to say your demonstrator will not be able to handle your case. Highly possible you will be turned over and to attend another session. Okay, and the other thing is you must attend your lab session. If you do not attend the lab session but participate the group work after lab, sorry to say, no mark will be given because attending the session is required. If you do not attend your lab session, so no matter if you contributed to the group work or not, the 0 mark will be given. Finally, support session. These support sessions are totally optional, and we target to use these support sessions to offer some extra academic assistance to overseas students. So if you think, okay, the contents of the unit are just okay, I can manage them, I do not have any trouble, and I do not have any difficulties on contents, you do not need to enroll to these support sessions at all. But if you really have, okay, some contents in the lecture were not clear to me, or I can't understand the explanations to the tutorial questions in the practical classes, you are welcome to join these support sessions to ask your questions. And all the support sessions are supposed to be informal classes. So they are not going to be recorded. And in these classes, we may chat between each other, and we can discuss something regarding the style of teaching or some compliance if you have. So we can just make all these support sessions to be informal classes. Okay, this is just a teaching plan for this unit. Let's move on to the next one. So on the screen now, you can see the timetable. So this timetable is for labs only. There are 4 graphs in this table, and the top 2 are for lab 1, the bottom 2 are for the lab 2. In the lab 1, can you see the week 12, week 13 thing? That's week 12, week 13, week 17, week 18 are the calendar weeks for the whole year. But for this semester, they are actually week 6, week 5, week 6, week 9, week 10. Okay. For each of these 2 labs, for example, lab 1, we have 8 sessions available at this moment. And the green color blocks are for the face-to-face lab sessions. And the face-to-face students, please come to the lab venue to attend your session. And the orange color blocks are the online lab sessions for online students to connect to the lab demonstrator through Zoom or Microsoft Teams. So for the lab 2 in week 9, week 10, the story will be roughly the same, but the time of the particular lab sessions are slightly different. So please be very careful when you read your timetable. Okay, next one. Assessments. This unit consists of 5 different assessments. Top one, I think the easiest one, should be the weekly quizzes, which contribute 10% to the final grade. And over the whole semester, we have 12 weeks. In each week, there is a quiz waiting for you. And you need to just watch the lecture video and attend the practical class, understand the contents of this week, and then sit in the quiz test. All the quizzes are open book and individual-based online test. That means when you sit in the quiz, you can just refer to any textbook, unit reader, lecture slides, tutorial question sheet, tutorial solutions. So all these materials are yours. You can just refer to these materials to help you to finish the questions in the quiz. But all the quizzes are individual based. This means you need to do the quiz by yourself. You can't ask other classmates, your friend or peer students how to solve this question. This will not be allowed. Finally, all the quizzes are online tests. In other words, you need to finish these quizzes on LMS through internet. So please make sure you have a stable internet connection. Okay. How this mark of the quizzes be counted? So each quiz will contribute to 1% of the mark. So by the end of semester, after you finish all 12 quizzes, I will pick the highest 10 marks out of the 12 quizzes as your final quizzes mark. Okay, next, labs. As I mentioned, there are 2 labs in this unit. Each lab will contribute 7.5% to the final grade. So in total for these 2 labs, the weight will be 15%. And regarding the assessments of the labs, it can be divided into 2 parts. First part is the individual-based pre-lab. The other one is the group-based lab report. This means, okay, before you attend your lab session, you need to go to MS, download the lab menu, and finish the pre-lab questions on a separate piece of paper, and scan and upload your answers to MS. All these things must be done before attending your lab sessions. And when you come to your lab session, your demonstrator will assign you into one lab group. Within the 3 hours of lab session, you can talk with your lab partners to discuss questions and complete some tasks. After you finish session, you do not need to hand in anything on that day. From that moment on, you will be given 7 calendar days to complete a group-based lab report. Then after 7 days, your group need to hand in your group report on MS. Your individual lab mark will be the individual pre-lab mark plus the group-based lab report mark. So in this part, I want to remind everyone, the group work will be important. You are expected to contribute equally to the group work. Okay, we'll talk about that later. This is about the labs. Next one, class test. In this unit, we have 3 class tests, which will be held in weeks 4, 7, and 10, respectively. And each class test will contribute 5% to this unit. And again, because we have the face-to-face students, we have the online students. So organizing the class test is really a big headache. And so far, the final decision has not been made yet. But the initial idea is to organize face-to-face class test and online class test at the same time, but different venues. For the face-to-face students, I'm supposed to have all of you to sit in a test venue on campus, and the paper-based test will be given to you, and you just need to answer the questions using paper and pen within the given time duration. In the meantime, online students need to connect to the online test venue on Zoom or Microsoft Teams to attend the class test. The invigilator will invigilate the test through Zoom or Microsoft Teams. And again, the same thing, within the given time duration, please answer all the questions. But for the online students, you need to scan your answers and upload your work back to LMS. This is our idea to organize the class test. Not finally confirmed yet, but I suppose this should be the best practice at this moment for this situation. Anyway, once we confirm the details, we are going to announce these details on LMS to make sure everybody can understand the procedures. The next assessment is the project, which will contribute 20% to the final grade. And the project will be a group work. I suppose the details of the group work, the project, will be announced in, I think, early of week 10. And after that, you will be given 3 weeks time up to Friday of the week 12 to finish this project with your group mates. And before that, so I think in week number 9, I'm going to organize the group teams on LMS. So we don't need to worry about this one at this moment, because this will happen in the second half of the semester. So more detailed instructions will be given, I think, in week 8 or week 9. Okay. The final exam will worth 40% and will be conducted in the regular exam duration. So more details will be available by the end of the semester. Okay, next one, important policies. First of all, if you are absent from some assessments, what you need to do? I suppose if you miss an assessment and want to get the mark back, it's better to apply for a special consideration from EMS student office. If your application got approved, so we can arrange some alternative class test or lab stuff for your absence. This depends on what happened on your side. So I can't give you the one-off solution to everyone. So please just apply for the special condition and contact me if the application got approved. So I will just discuss the details with you. Next one, academic misconduct. So plagiarism will not be tolerated. So your work handed in must be really your own work. You should not copy from others. You should not ask others. If we find this, a 0 mark will be given to you. Okay, and for the group works, all the group members are supposed to contribute equally in group works. This is particular for the lab report and our final project. Late penalty. So this is a very regular policy. So a late penalty of 5% of the total mark allocated for the assessment item is deducted per day for the first 7 days, including weekends and public holidays. After 7 days, no marks will be given. Okay. Next one, important unit contacts. Myself, being the unit counter, will be in charge of all academic questions. So if you have trouble with the contents of the lectures or some tutorial questions, okay, if you have trouble with the lab tasks, or you think my marking in the class test not right, so all such kind of academic questions should come to me. Please contact me through LMS, through Zoom or the Microsoft Teams, or drop me an email. For all the administrative questions, like, okay, I can't attend this session of the lab, might change to another session. Sorry to say, I can't help you because I don't know the details regarding the CAS enrollment. You need to contact our unit support. The email address is admin-eece@uwa.edu.au. please make sure you write down the unit code ELEC404 in the subject of your email. So if you do not write down this unit code, I don't think we can respond to you quickly, okay? Regarding your request or question or email sent to myself or the administration, please allow us at least 24 hours before getting a response, because we are really busy and sometimes we can't check emails regularly. In that case, there may have some delay to respond to you. So please be patient and just give us longer time before hearing some response. Finally, if you want to apply for a special contribution, please contact the EMS student office. The email address is given in the screen. You can check it yourself. Some other matters. MATLAB. MATLAB is important and essential for the labs and the project. So for online students, I don't really worry about your case too much, because on all the desktops in PC labs and the library, the MATLAB has already been installed and available for you to use. You can just go there to use it, so it should be fine. But for off-campus students, for online students, I'm not sure if you are able to install a MATLAB on your own computer or not. So we have two solutions here. The solution one is you can install a MATLAB copy on your own computer, no matter you are running Linux, Windows, or Mac OS. So what you need to do, you just go to the website of the MATLAB and download the latest version or 2019B version, and then install that on your personal computer. But please be reminded here, you will need a license. So when you try to download the MATLAB from the MATLAB website, they will ask you to register as a user. When you do the registration, make sure you are using your UWA student email as the username. Once you do so, when you try to activate your MATLAB copy on your PC, the campus-wide license will be offered to you automatically, and then you will be given free of charge license before the June of this year. Okay. Another solution for this case is if you really do not want to install the MATLAB on your computer, you may try to use the UniDesk Remote PC service. That means because you are located overseas, right? You can just connect to one on-campus desktop through this UniDesk Remote PC service. After you log on to the PC remotely, you can use the MATLAB installed on this desktop. But from my personal experience, such kind of connection is not stable. So I do not suggest you to use the option 2. If you can, try to install a MATLAB on your own computer. This will be very convenient when you discuss the progress of your lab tasks or the project with your group mates. Okay, the next important application is just the ones we used to interact. We mentioned that for the practical classes, for the lab sessions, for the class tests, and also maybe for the project, we need to contact with others, like your group mates or the tutor or the lecturer. So we are using Zoom or Microsoft Teams. So before we start our interactions, so I suggest all of you, not only the online students, but also face-to-face students, please install the application on your phone or on your computer, so that anytime you need to connect with me, you can just turn on your application and contact me. Okay, but so far there's a small change, because in last year we always used Zoom for any communication between the lecturer and the students. But the faculty and the university are pushing us to transit from Zoom to Microsoft Teams in this semester. I have not made the final decision, but I prefer to use the new one, the Microsoft Teams, but I'm still learning how to use it. The interface looks totally different from Zoom's, but the functionalities are pretty much the same. So please allow me another maybe 1 or 2 days. So before the Wednesday of the first week, I will send the announcement on MS to let you know how to connect to the practical class in week 1 through Zoom or through the Microsoft Teams. Now let's have a look the ELEC 404 this unit on the LMS system. So currently on the screen, you can see the main page of this unit on MS. And on the left-hand side, you can see the navigation connections. And on the right-hand side, they are just main contents, okay? Let's start from the left-hand side, go through these links one by one quickly. Unit dashboard, that's not important, don't worry about too much. The next entry is the lecture recording. So after you click this link, you will be led into the lecture recording page. In this page, it always has only one entry called lecture recording system. You will be able to find all the recorded lectures, recorded practical classes, and including the video for the introductory lectures from this system. So what you need to do is just to click it to open a new page. And in the new page, you will be able to see a number of folders. So actually this system is a lecture recording system. And week by week, I will upload the lecture video and the practical class videos into the corresponding folders. And what you can do is just to click that folder to open it and click the link to that video to watch it. Of course, if you want, you can just click that link and then download that video to your local computer to watch it. Okay, now let's go back to the LMS system. Next one, unit readings. They are just some general links connecting to the web page of the UWA library. From there, you can find the recommended textbooks. And if you want to really borrow the textbooks, you can just make the order to the library, and they will just maybe reserve the textbook for you. And unit evaluation, so this will be used by the end of the semester to evaluate the teaching of this unit. So before that, it's not very useful. Announcements is one important place. So time by time, I will just update you through these announcements. I will post the new instructions, new information, the summary of the weeks, and maybe some up-to-date information as announcements on MS. When I post an announcement here, so you can check this up-to-date announcement on MS. In the meantime, from your student email, you should be able to receive the same announcements. Okay. So far from this page, you can see I have already sent out 2 announcements to you. One is for the so-called outline of this unit, and the other one is a message from the Medical Center College. This is nothing about our unit anyway. Okay, this is about announcements. General information, so it's just including some outline of this unit and some important teaching activities and assessments. If you click this one, you can see a summarized information, which is similar to that in the introductory lecture. So including the assessments, the teaching activities, all this stuff. Okay, please just check that out by yourself. Then information. And some policies and rules from university. They are the general rules. If you are not clear on these rules, please check out these links. But if you are senior students, you have understood everything, they remain the same as previous years. Okay. General information, unit context. Actually, in the introductory lecture, we have already shown you the same thing. So myself is unit coordinator, Lu Jin. So I will be in charge of all the academic questions. But for the administrative questions, please contact our unit support. Finally, all the special consideration applications should go to the EMS student office. So actually, I think in this unit, this part is pretty simple. We just got 3 parties to manage teaching of this unit to answer all your questions. Okay, the most important academic contents will be given in the unit content folder. Once you click the link, you will be given a large number of contents in the main page here. We go through them one by one, okay? First, our folder is lecture notes, tutorial sheets, and demos. So let's click this. More things. First of all, signals and systems refresher. So you know, guys, we are going to study the signal processing in this unit. The preliminary for this unit is the signals and systems. I believe most of you should have already studied that unit before. And just in case you forgot some important contents in that unit, we are pushing a chapter here for you to recall or warm up for this unit. And if you click this PDF file, you can see some information, some knowledge which you have learned from the signals and the systems that unit. So ENSC 3015, I think. Okay, some discrete signals and linear time invariant systems. So Laplace transformation, something like that. Okay, so I leave that to you. So if you forgot the contents in that unit, so please just go through this one to help you to recall them. Some of this knowledge will be useful when you study the signal processing. Next one, analog and digital filters. In the second half of this unit, signal processing, we are going to study the behavior of the filters, and we are going to design the filters in our project. So the knowledge regarding the filters will be important. Of course, when we move on to the second half of this unit, we are going to teach you more things regarding filters. But before that, if you have interest, you may just read through this stuff to understand what is a filter, what does filter do, or something like this. If you have questions, so don't hesitate, just come to me and I will just try my best to answer your question. Okay, this is analog and digital filters. Now, the next one will be important, course reader, all in one place. Let's click this link and go into the folder. There are only 2 files in this folder. First one, lecture notes. Second one, tutorial questions. If you really purchased a unit reader from the bookshop on campus, actually in the book, it contains only these 2 parts, the lecture notes and the tutorial questions. In the lecture notes, there are, I think, 8 chapters. This PDF file contains all 8 chapters inside, including the preliminary chapter introducing the analog and the digital filters. So in total, 9 chapters from 0 up to 8. These notes contains all the information we are going to study in this unit. But don't be surprised, so we have a lot of mathematical things in the unit reader. And for my lectures, for all 12 weeks, I will try my best to help you to understand this mathematical stuff, to understand how this stuff works. Okay, so this is just a unit reader, so the notes. What I'm thinking is the notes is very important. So please make sure you have either a soft copy or hard copy for you to write down some personal notes beside the formulas or make some personal notes regarding how to expand or how to understand this procedure. Okay. The next PDF file is the tutorial questions. In this PDF file, you can find all, I think 12 or 9, I can't remember, 9 tutorial chapters, I think. 9, 10, 11. Okay, in total 11 tutorial chapters. They covers the tutorial questions, which will be very useful for you to review the contents you learned from lectures. So in our practical classes, we are going to go through these questions. Maybe not all of them, but I will try my best to cover as many as possible. And the selected answers of these questions will be published on LMS, and you can check them out after trying these questions. Normally, I will upload the answers on LMS by the end of each week after we finish all the teaching activities of that week. Okay, this is just about tutorials. Okay, in course reader folder, you can see these two files. Now let's go back to the main page. Next to the course reader, sorry, in the following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folders, you can see the breakdown chapters. For example, you can see chapter 1, random variables. In this folder, it contains the chapter 1 reading notes, of course, plus some tutorial questions from the corresponding chapters. When we go through this semester week by week, I'm going to upload maybe lecture slides and some lecture examples, some Q&A notes in this folder week by week, so that when you do the revision of this unit, we'll prepare for the class test. You do not have to get all the information in the same page. So I'm putting different chapter information into a dedicated chapter, dedicated folder on LMS, so easy for you to find the useful information. Okay, this is about the following 5 folders under the unit content. Okay, now we have finished the introduction of the first folder under unit content. Next one, extracts from the textbooks. We put 2 folders here. Each of the 2 folders contains the photocopy of the related pages in the textbooks. If you want to extend your reading, please come to here and read through these copies of the textbooks. But if you do not have time, or you think the unit reader is enough, you do not have to read this information at all. Okay. At the bottom of this page, you can see basic force transform pairs and properties. How to say it? Very important information for your class test, final exam, and also labs maybe. So you can find how to transform between time domain and the fixed domain by using these tables. At the very beginning of this semester in this unit, we don't use a force transform too much. But when we move on to the, I think, chapter 2, signal random process, so we are going to use the force transform frequently. By then, you need to have some handy tools with you. I think these 2 tables will be very useful. Okay, this is about the items under the extracts from textbooks. Next one, MATLAB tutorials and learning resources. As I mentioned, our labs and projects are closely related to MATLAB. If you do not have any understanding to MATLAB, I suggest you to go through these MATLAB tutorials online before you attend your lab sessions. Okay, now we have done the first 3 items. The following 1, 2, 3, 4 items are highlighted in blue because these 4 items are related to your assessments. First one, weekly quizzes. You will be able to find the weekly quizzes link under this folder. So when you try to set the quiz, so please click this folder. So far it's empty. So the quiz will be enabled to students on Monday, 3 p.m. This is the time for Western Australia Standard Time. And start at 3 p.m. And the quiz will be due at the same time, 3 p.m. on Monday of the following week. So you have 7 calendar days to finish a quiz. You can start it anytime within these 7 days. But once you start it, you have to finish all the questions in one sit. And once you start, you have only 30 minutes to finish the questions. So typically, there are 5 short questions in each quiz, covering the content of that week's teaching contents. Okay, and just within half an hour, finish the questions. By the end, click submit to finish it. Okay, please make sure you start your quiz before the due date. If you can't do that, a 0 mark will be given to you automatically to that quiz. If you really have some special reasons, please apply for a special consideration to cover your absence from the quiz. And your quiz mark will not be given instantly after you finish the quiz. In other words, after you finish the quiz, you can just see a page saying you have done your quiz, blah, blah, blah stuff, but no mark will be given. The marks of your quiz will be released on LMS after the quiz is due. In other words, by 3 p.m. next Monday, so the quiz mark will be released on LMS. And also you can see which question you got wrong, which question you got right. Just because of this reason, so we are going to release the answers of the quiz questions at the due time of the quiz. So if you missed this quiz, we are not able to reopen that for you to resit into the same quiz questions. One more thing I want to remind everyone is, so because we are giving the random questions to different students, so even though you are doing the same quiz, but student by student, the questions will be different slightly, but the difficulty levels between questions should be roughly the same. Okay. Let's go back. Quiz is done. The first quiz will start at 3 p.m. on Monday of the week 1, and will be due at 3 p.m. on Monday of the week 2. So please do not forget to finish the quiz within this time duration. Okay. Class test folder so far is empty and nothing has been done. And 3 class tests will take place in weeks 4, 7, and 11 respectively. Oh, guys, I think I made a mistake. It should be weeks 4, 7, and 10. Sorry, I will just correct this shortly. Okay, weeks 4, 7, and 10 respectively. The class test information will be uploaded into this folder at least 1 week before we start corresponding test. And after the test, the solutions will be given in this folder as well. Next one, lab sheets and the supplementary materials. As mentioned, the lab 1 will start in week 5, and I think I will upload the lab menu into this folder by the end of the week 4. By the end of week 3, so that in the week 4 you have 1 week time, at least 1 week time, to work out the pre-lab questions, and then in lab 5 you can go to attend your lab sessions. Okay, and by then the lab menu will be given here, and also your pre-lab submission link will be given here. Your group, let me think, guys. I think that is a good idea. Yeah, we can put the pre-lab submission link here, but for the final group-based lab report, the link will not be shown here because that is a group work. So I will give you the final group report submission link into your group man page. So I will show you in your lab session. At this moment, you do not need to worry about that. Okay, this is what happened regarding the lab 1. Regarding the lab 2, so I will put the lab 2 menu here in week number 7, and then in week number 8 you can do the pre-lab questions, and in the week 9 week 10, just go to attend your lab sessions. Okay, so this same story for the labs, for lab 2. Finally, group project. So all the group information, forming group information, the detailed instruction, and also the peer assessment links. So all the details will be given in this folder. And again, don't worry about that. That will be in the second half of the semester. So by week number maybe 7 or 8, I will just put the latest information regarding the group project here. I will remind you through RMS announcements by then. Finally, final exam information. No surprise, there's nothing at this moment. So by then, by the end of semester, in the week 12, after we finish the revision lecture, the revision lecture slides will be given here, and also maybe the sample formula sheet will be given here as well, and some other information related to the exam will be provided in this folder. Okay, this is just pretty much everything for the unit content folder or the unit content link. Next one, groups. So far, there's nothing, but once you are assigned in a group for the labs, for the project, you will be able to see your group link here. And then in that group link, you will be able to see the members of your group. You will be able to see what kind of so-called assignment or the group report you need to submit it. By clicking that link, you will be given the button to upload your PDF report and submit it to RMS. So again, the details will be given when we start the lab sessions and the group works. Grades. In this part, you can check the up-to-date marks regarding the assessments. I don't think we can see the marks of the quizzes in this page. Sorry to say, I'm not sure on that thing. If you know the answers, let me know, please. But for the labs, for the class test, once I finish marking, you should be able to see the marks from this page. Okay. Again, if you have any questions after checking the comments or the feedback I gave you regarding some particular assessments components, you can just email me or come to see me to discuss. Finally, unit outline. This page was generated automatically by the system. I don't think the top sections information is correct. For example, for the labs, 15%, design project 20%, that's okay. Test and a final exam, 65%. Yes, right, but not very clear. The top section of this page was generated by system automatically. So I want you guys to focus on the contents given, starting from the contact details section. This part give you the up-to-date information regarding this unit. For me, the fundamental details are all correct. The only thing you need to notice is about the consultation information. So for this unit, my consultation time weekly is between 10 to 11 a.m. on Tuesday. Regarding how to consult it with me, so please check the unit contents on RMS. Over there, under the unit contacts on RMS, I will give you the links of the Zoom or MS Teams. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Unit information, the lecture capital systems, remain same as what I have mentioned in the introductory lecture. Learning and teaching strategy, unit structure, all these informations have been mentioned in our introductory lecture, so I don't want to read them through again. But for you, you better just understand the structures, okay? Week by week scheduling and some assessment scheduling are given here. Participation, so attending the allocated lab sessions will be compulsory. Attending class test on Thursday in weeks 4, 7, 10 will be compulsory. Yeah, all this stuff have already been mentioned. In the other section, So MATLAB software is essential for the laboratories and the project. Face-to-face students can use the MATLAB by using the on-campus desktops, and the online students have two solutions. So some links are given here. So please just go through this part if you need to install or get access to MATLAB through campus-wide license or through the Unidesk remote PC service. Okay, everyone. So this is pretty much everything for this introduction regarding this unit. If you have any further question, please feel free to send me an email. I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much.